After that night, sleep stopped being rest. It became a transition. Lying in bed felt like waiting for permission to close my eyes. The darkness wasn't empty anymore. It had weight. I started noticing sounds that didn't belong to the house, faint taps inside the walls, slow and irregular, like someone testing boundaries. I tried to rationalize it. Old pipes, wood settling, but every explanation collapsed at 3:17 a.m. The moment my eyes opened, the sounds stopped. That silence was worse. It felt attentive. I began leaving lights on, not because it helped, but because darkness started to feel intentional, as if it preferred certain rooms, certain corners. The hallway outside my bedroom was always darker than it should have been, even with the lamp on. Shadows there didn't behave like shadows. One night, I stood at my bedroom door and listened. I could hear my own breathing, slow and controlled. Then, beneath it, something else. Soft, careful, almost respectful. Whatever it was didn't want to be noticed. That realization changed everything.
When Alan described the breathing, I didn't interrupt him. Some details don't need questions. I recognized the fear in his pauses more than in his words. It wasn't panic, it was adaptation, like someone learning the rules of a place they never agreed to enter. I asked him one thing. Did it feel angry? He said no. That answer scared me more than anything else. The nights grew longer, not in hours, but in perception. Darkness settled earlier now, thickening the air before the sun had fully disappeared. Even during the day, the house seemed to hold on to the night, like a memory it refused to release. Dust floated lazily in narrow beams of light, and every room carried a faint smell of old wood and something metallic, barely noticeable but persistent.
I stopped inviting people over, not because I was afraid they would see something, but because I was afraid they wouldn't. The house felt different when I was alone, more honest. When others were present, it withdrew, like a predator waiting for privacy. I started finding small signs that made no sense. Footprints near the back door, too light to be mine. The kitchen chair pulled out just enough to suggest use, and once I found the bathroom mirror fogged, even though no one had showered. In the glass, there was a clean streak, as if someone had wiped a hand across it to see their own reflection. I didn't touch it. I waited for it to fade on its own. Sleep deprivation began to blur things. I couldn't tell anymore if I was remembering dreams or dreaming memories. Faces appeared in my mind that I didn't recognize, yet felt familiar. A man standing near the window, always turned away. His posture was tired, resigned, like someone who had already tried to leave and failed.
I sent him a photo of the mirror that morning. By the time it reached me, the fog was gone, but the streak remained. I stared at it longer than I should have. There was something deliberate about it. Something almost careful. That night, I noticed changes around me, too. My apartment felt smaller. Sounds echoed oddly, like they were bouncing off walls that weren't there before. I caught myself listening for things I had never paid attention to. The hum of electricity, distant traffic, my own breathing in the dark. When I lay down to sleep, I felt watched. Not from a corner, not from the door, from somewhere closer, from the space just beyond my closed eyes. The rain began without warning, not heavy, not violent, just steady enough to blur the world outside the windows. The sound of it against the roof didn't bring comfort. It amplified the silence inside the house, outlining every room with a hollow echo. Shadows stretched longer now, bending where they shouldn't, pooling in corners that never seemed fully lit.
The night it rained, I realized the house responded to attention. When I stayed still, it stayed still. When my thoughts wandered toward it, toward what might be watching, it reacted. A floorboard creaked, a wall sighed. It was like a conversation that only existed if I participated. I sat in the living room with all the lights off, rain tapping softly above me. I don't know why I did that. Curiosity, maybe, or the quiet belief that ignoring it was no longer an option. That's when I heard the chair move upstairs. Slow, careful, deliberate. I didn't go up. I waited. The sound stopped right above me, as if whoever or whatever was there knew exactly where I was sitting. The ceiling felt closer than usual, pressing down. Then came the weight. Not footsteps, not movement, just pressure, like someone standing still for a long time.
He didn't call me that night, but I woke up anyway. The rain was hitting my windows too. Same rhythm, same pauses. I checked the time, 3:16 a.m., 1 minute before his hour. My phone vibrated once. No notification, just vibration. I held it in my hand, waiting. When the screen finally lit up, it wasn't a call. It was a voice message, 30 seconds long. I almost didn't listen. The recording was mostly static. Then I heard the rain, then Alan's breathing, and beneath it, unmistakable now, another presence. Not louder, not aggressive, just closer to the microphone than he was. At the end of the recording, there was a whisper. Not a word, a breath shaped like intention.
I didn't remember sending that message. I didn't remember turning my phone on at all. When I listened to it the next morning, my hands shook. The breathing wasn't synchronized, and the space between the breaths felt patient. That's when I noticed the mark on my wrist, a faint red line, like pressure had been applied for too long. No pain, no memory of it happening, just evidence. The house wasn't just watching anymore, it was learning.
Morning light never fully entered the house. It stopped at the windows, diluted, as if filtered through something unseen. The rain had washed the streets clean, but inside, the air felt stale, trapped between years that refused to pass. Silence lingered longer than it should have, clinging to corners, pressing against the walls.
I stopped sleeping in the bedroom. The living room felt safer, closer to the exit, closer to daylight. But safety had become relative. Even awake, I felt the house observing how I adapted, how I rearranged myself around it. That afternoon, I searched the attic. The stairs groaned with each step, protesting my presence. Dust coated everything like a second skin. Old boxes, forgotten furniture, and in the far corner, a small wooden desk. On it, a notebook. The pages were filled edge to edge, same handwriting, same sentence repeated with slight variations, like someone trying to convince themselves. I stayed too long. I thought it would stop. It only listens when you're afraid. My name appeared once, just once, written shakily as if added later.
When he told me about the notebook, I felt something settle in my chest. Not fear, recognition. I checked my own apartment that night, searching places I had never cared about before. Under my bed, behind the couch. I found nothing, but I knew then this wasn't contained by walls.
The house didn't want me gone. It wanted me aware, and now that I was, it didn't need to hide anymore. The temperature dropped again that night, not suddenly, but deliberately, degree by degree, until the cold felt intentional. The house creaked more than usual, adjusting itself as if preparing. Outside, the streetlights flickered, casting uneven patterns through the curtains, shadows that stretched and collapsed in slow motion. I stopped resisting the feeling of being watched. Fighting it only made things louder. Instead, I acknowledged it. I spoke out loud sometimes, not asking questions, just stating facts. I'm still here. The house responded with silence. That was its way of listening. At 3:17 a.m., I was awake, sitting upright. No fear this time, just expectation. The air thickened, pressing gently against my ears. Then the sound came from the hallway. Not footsteps, not breathing, but something softer. Fabric brushing against wood, like someone standing up after sitting for too long. I didn't turn my head. I knew if I did, something would change permanently.
I felt it before he said anything, a sharp pressure behind my eyes, followed by the sudden certainty that he wasn't alone. I sent him a message I don't remember typing. Don't look at it. He replied immediately, just one word, too late.
When I finally turned, the hallway wasn't empty. It wasn't full either. The shape there wasn't solid, more like absence given outline. Taller than me, still, patient. It didn't move because it didn't need to. And in that moment I understood Thomas Hale hadn't disappeared. He had learned how to stay. The presence didn't advance. It didn't retreat. It simply occupied space, redefining it. The hallway felt narrower, stretched between seconds that refused to pass. The clock downstairs stopped ticking. Not broken, paused. Even the house seemed to hold its breath. I expected fear, panic. Instead, there was clarity. The shape wasn't threatening because it didn't need to be. It wasn't there to harm me. It was there to remind me. The pressure in the room wasn't physical. It was attention, focused entirely on me. Images flooded my mind, not mine. A man arriving hopeful, nights of unease, small signs ignored, the slow bargain with disbelief. Thomas Hale hadn't been taken. He had been convinced to remain, one night at a time, one doubt after another. The shape shifted slightly, enough to suggest acknowledgement, not approval, recognition.
I felt myself slipping into memories that weren't mine. A table, a notebook, a hand shaking as it wrote the same sentence again and again. I realized then that the house didn't trap people, it mirrored them. It waited until you no longer trusted your own urge to leave.
The presence receded, not vanishing, just stepping back into the walls, into the floor, into the quiet itself. The air lightened, sound returned. The clock resumed ticking as if nothing had happened, but something had changed. I packed before sunrise. Dawn arrived pale and hesitant, like it didn't want to be seen either. The town outside looked normal in daylight, almost harmless, but the house still felt awake behind me, as if watching through every crack in the wood. When I carried the last bag to the car, the front door closed on its own. Not slammed, not dramatic, just a quiet click, like a decision being made.
I didn't lock it. I didn't say goodbye. I just left. The tires rolled over wet pavement, and for the first time in weeks, I felt air moving freely through my lungs. I drove without music, without thinking, keeping my eyes on the road as if looking back might rewrite the choice I'd made. By noon, I was hours away. New streets, new buildings, people walking dogs, laughing, living. Normality was everywhere. And still, at the edge of every sound, there was that same attention. Not the house itself, but the habit it had planted in me.
That night, in a cheap motel with thin curtains and buzzing lights, I waited for 3:17 a.m. I told myself it wouldn't happen. Different place, different walls, different air. It happened. My eyes opened on their own, sharp and immediate, No confusion, no dream, just the same certainty, like a hand had tapped my shoulder from inside my skull.
When he texted me from the motel, it was only 3 words. It followed me. I didn't ask what, I didn't ask how. I was already standing in my kitchen, staring at the dark window like something might be staring back. I checked the time, 3:17 a.m. I realized then that the hour wasn't a symptom, it was a door.
I started noticing patterns, small ones at first. Street lights flickering when I passed, phone screens lighting up without notification, door handles angled slightly downward as if someone had touched them and left a trace. But the worst part wasn't the signs, it was the way my mind now searched for them automatically. The house had taught me to listen, to expect, to look for meaning in silence. And the more I noticed, the stronger it felt.
I tried to break the pattern for him. I told him to change routines, sleep with the lights on, stay with friends, travel, anything. But you can't outrun something that doesn't have feet. I started dreaming again, only now the dreams weren't symbolic, they were specific, architectural. Rooms I could map, a hallway that narrowed toward a door with no handle, a staircase that led to a ceiling. In the dream, I heard the same message repeated, not by a voice, but by the atmosphere itself. I stayed too long. A week later, I found something in my bag that I swear I didn't pack. The notebook. The attic notebook. Same worn cover, same smell of old paper and dust. I opened it with shaking hands. There was a new page. My handwriting. You left the house, but you didn't leave the hour. On the next line, a name was written. Not mine, not Thomas Hale's. Maria.